Hello vlog. I am tired and sweaty because I've had a morning, but it's fine. Today I am continuing my journey in Scotland. I'm very excited. I am going to a place that I've been very eager to go to. I am going to be leaving Glasgow today and heading to the Isle of Arran, which is one of the islands here in Scotland off the west coast. And if you've been following along so far on this journey, so my last clip got cut off because somebody came on the train and I got shy. But I was saying that if you've been following along with me so far, then you know that my grandma was born in Scotland. So that is a large reason why I wanted to come to Scotland in the first place. Well, that and also Highland cows. I just got off the train. I am in Troon and I'm now walking to the ferry port. There are two main ferry ports to get into, or to get onto the Isle of Arran. One is called Ardrossan and the other is called Troon. And the port in Ardrossan has been under construction for a while. So I'm at Troon instead. And I'm just walking to the port. So it's about a 30-minute walk. I'll be there soon. Bless the kind Scottish people, because a man just pulled over his car to tell me that I am walking the wrong way to get to the ferry. He assumed I was going to the ferry and he was like, "You're going the wrong way." Now I'm going the right way. Fuck Google Maps. Anyways, I was going to say that something that's going to make my trip to Arran even more special is that I have living relatives that still live in Scotland and they live on the Isle of Arran. So prior to me leaving for this trip, I was able to connect with a few of them over email. And my second cousin was kind enough to offer to host me. So not only will I be meeting her for the first time when I get to Arran and a couple of other relatives, but I'll also be staying with her. So it's so kind, and I'll be getting some local knowledge of the place. Beyond this fence is the ocean. So I'm in Scotland and I can smell the ocean. It's so awesome. I'm so excited. Very smooth and not too windy. It's a wee bit windy. This is Loch Ranza Castle. This is inside Loch Ranza Castle. I'm in a cave. Wow. Storage cellar, 18th century. This corner of the castle came crashing down during a wild storm in 1897. Well, it better not come crashing down now. That was so cool. Okay, back in the cave. Oh, it's blocked off. Let's see if I can go into the prison.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it is so dark in here. That is really spooky. I am in the prison. That is upsetting. Okay, I'm gonna leave now. Bunch of seals. On our way to Machrie. Oh, we're at Machrie. Cute. Hello from Arran. Wow, I have had an amazing first day here on the Isle of Arran. I met my third cousin, second cousin, once removed. We had a laugh trying to figure out what our title is in terms of how we are related to each other. Who I am staying with is so lovely, and I also met some other relatives of mine who are also extremely kind, and they're also lovely. It's just adding a whole extra layer to this trip. Isle of Arran is something to behold. But yeah, I think the Isle of Arran is just blowing me away. It is so beautiful. I also experienced my first bout of midgies tonight, sitting on the deck with my cousin. The midgies were out, and I was under the impression that they were like micro mosquitoes. They're more like gnats. Like if you're from the USA or Canada, you know what gnats are. They're just like annoying little bugs. That's kind of what midgies are, although apparently midgies do bite you. I didn't notice them biting me, but they were just like flying all up in your business, and they make you feel itchy. I'm gonna sign off for the evening and talk to you again soon. That one's got its eye on me. Good morning from the Isle of Arran. I've had such a lovely morning, and I am now at Machrie, and I am walking towards the standing stones because you can't come to Scotland and not see standing stones. I'm walking the path right now, and it's only 2 kilometers to the stones, so it shouldn't take me too long. But up ahead, I see Highland cows. There they are! So I'm going to stop and say hello to them, and then continue on to the stones. I love them so much. Hello. Hi, Coo. Hello. They're eating. I just can't get over how beautiful this is. And this walk is pretty much just flat, which is like unheard of in Scotland. Onwards and, well, not upwards. Onwards and onwards. So these are the Machrie Moor standing stones, and historians don't really know what standing stones, what their purpose was. Could be for burial reasons, religious reasons, but It's crazy to think about the history of these places. And this is from like 4,000 years ago, so. And they haven't dug up the middle part, so they don't know what's in the middle. They think it could have been burial grounds, but they're not sure. So I've set up my tripod so you can see the size comparison of the standing stone in comparison to me. For reference, I am 5'2". Hey! It is a gorgeous day here at the Machrie standing stones on the Isle of Arran. I think there's more that I can walk to, but yeah, that one's a little bit bigger than the ones at the stone circle. So I think my last clip I was filming in slow motion, so hopefully this is not in slow motion. I am at the Machrie standing stones. They are pretty incredible. It's just crazy how little historians and paleoarchaeologists know about them. Like, I wish we knew like who was buried here. Let's see if I can go back in time if I put both hands on it. Nope, still here. So for reference, I am 5'2", first thing in the morning. This is just incredible. I don't know if this is still in frame or not, but wow. It's crazy. And I'm the only one here. It's just crazy to think, like, how did people put these stones in the ground? Like, where did they find them? How did they put them there? And the fact that they've remained like 4,000 years later, it's just insane. So in the distance here is a little house made of stone, and the roof's been collapsed, but you can still make out the walls. And what I think that is, you know, hundreds or thousands of years ago, there was an event called the Highland clearances, where basically the Scottish government found that it would be more profitable if the land was occupied by sheep and deer, because they could sell the sheep for their wool and for meat. So they forcibly removed Scottish people from their homes, and many of them went to different cities around the country, but a lot of them also immigrated to different countries completely, like New Zealand and Canada. And so all that remains are the homes that they once inhabited. Alrighty, I am leaving the standing stones at Machrie now, headed on to my next adventure. Bless my second cousin once removed. She's been so kind, driving me around and waiting for me. Stone circle. Ancient house. Just having a moment. Walking through Arran. This is what dreams are made of. I feel like that meme of Drew Barrymore where she's like smiling in the rain. She's calling me. Can't come to the phone right now. I'm on vacay mode. Okie dokie. I am now on my way to see the King's Caves, which is not too far of a drive from where I just was at Machrie. I am on this trail. Apparently this is going to be 5 kilometers to the King's Caves, and I've got some local knowledge. I'm doing it backwards, because apparently when you do it clockwise, at the end you get a really nice view of the caves and whatever's on the other end, whereas if you do it counterclockwise, which is the way that I think a lot of tourists do it because that's where the signs are, you don't get that view. So I guess we'll see. Just influencer things. I'm laughing because I'm like 1 kilometer in. Once again, I have forgotten to start my Strava. I should have started it just so I could know how many kilometers I've walked. I'm a lot better at telling how far I've gone when I'm running, but when I'm walking, I have like no idea. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, shout out to my relatives for providing me with the local knowledge to do this walk clockwise instead of counterclockwise, because this is my view right now. That's literally the ocean. So if I had done this counterclockwise, that would have been at my back this whole time. Like, are you joking? That is just gorgeous. Wow. Just stunning. Wow. I don't know if this camera is like accurately capturing how stunning this is, but this is stunning. The ocean. I imagine the King's Caves must be over there. I don't know if this is like a 5-kilometer loop or if it's 5 kilometers one way or what. I don't know. I'm just walking. Okay, I've got a bit of a downhill. Run, run, run. Running down the hill. Can you see my feet? Run, run. Oh, okay. Okay, don't get on my head, bugs. Gosh, where the frick am I? I feel like I'm getting close. Not too shabby of a view. Oh, there's people down there. Okay, maybe the cave is over there. Wow, either way. This is just stunning. Wow. Wow. It's a wee bit narrower coming down here. Ooh, okay. There we go. King's Caves. Okay, I am approaching the caves. Wow. This is just... So over there is Blackwaterfoot. And these are the caves. Wow. That is just wild. Oh, tripping. Oh, okay. Oh, there's some type of fence up here. I am in the cave. It's crazy to think that Robert the Bruce would have hidden away in here in the year 1300. Like, that's such a freaking long time ago, bro. Wow, look at this. Oh, there's people in there, okay. is crazy. I mean, not a bad place to go away and hide. I wouldn't mind doing that myself, to be honest. I just saw someone crawl out of this, like a tourist, not like a random person, but that is so narrow. Like, there's no way. Yeah. There's no way I'm going. I don't want to get trapped in here. No, thank you. So I am in the King's Caves. In here is where Robert the Bruce hid himself away when he lost a battle in the year 1307. And while in here, he witnessed a spider weaving a web, and the water kept destroying the web, but the spider kept trying and trying and trying to remake its web, and that supposedly inspired Robert the Bruce to continue his fight against England. That is just crazy. I don't know what that sound is. Alrighty, time to head out. Bye, King's Cave. I see the light. Okay, I'm leaving the King's Cave. That was so cool. If you come to the Isle of Arran, you have to go here. Even if you're not a fan of caves. I can't say that I am a particular big fan of caves, but just to like be here. I mean, so in there, that is the King's Cave. And then over there's Black Waterfoot, freaking ocean. And I am going to walk back this way. There is Canada everywhere for those with eyes to see. I just can't freaking believe how beautiful this is. There's a crane behind me on a rock. I don't know if you can see, but it's just freaking gorgeous. I really want to go for a dip in the water, but I mean, I could. Should I go down to the water? You know what? Yeah, let's do that. I'm at the shore. Let's feel how cold this water is. Oh, it's actually not that bad. It's actually not that bad. Look at all the shells. Alrighty, I'm saying goodbye to the King's Caves and Black Waterfoot, and I'm going to begin my ascent. Emphasis on ascent, because getting down to the King's Caves was pretty much all downhill. So I think I've got a pretty steep climb ahead of me. So wish me luck. It is warm today and humid, but I am just so glad that I did this trail the opposite way, because like now that I'm headed back and I'm walking up the way that people typically walk down, the views the way that I went, I mean the views here are still like gorgeous, but the way that I went was, I think, a little bit more gorgeous. I just am enjoying this so much. Like, it's scenic, it's beautiful. And again, I've mentioned it before, but like, there are no predatory animals, no bears, no wolves. I would never solo hike by myself in the Rocky Mountains. And here you're just like, you can do it without worry of having bear spray or things like that. So it's just really nice. Question for you. When you're hiking and you pass people, what's your go-to? Mine is, hi. Like a barely audible hi. What's yours? Hello. Almost there. Weather, am I right? One more hill. This is the last hill. Man, I just can't get over how gorgeous Scotland is. Well, I was gonna say I'm getting close, but I actually have no idea. Looks like there's a peak at the top of this hill, so I'll be able to find out how close I am, maybe. There's quite a few bugs, flies. I haven't noticed any midgies, but lots of flies, and I stink, so they're flying all around me. But I did do laundry, so I will have clean clothes soon. Currently my laundry is drying, hanging on a clothesline, so something I'm not really used to. All my thongs are just blown in the wind. Here are the remains of a hut circle from 3,000 to 4,000 years ago. Wow, that's just crazy. Okay, we are about to have some pizza for dinner. Look at my hair, also. Island life hair. My hair never looks like this. But I wanted to show you the view from my second cousin once removed's deck. That is the Holy Isle. I mean, that's just... Are you joking? This morning while we ate breakfast, we could see like canoers going across and like boats. Got the binoculars out. Pretty perfect way to end the day. Wow. That's the moon.
so the quality might look a little different in those clips, and I didn't like talk or like record myself, so I'm not really sure how this portion of the vlog is gonna turn out. We hiked Goat Fell, which is the tallest hill on the Isle of Arran, and it was stunning. We could not have asked for a nicer day to do it. It was like genuinely like just stunning. It was a bluebird day, like super sunny, super hot. I am so sunburned right now. And it was just like amazing, and there was not that many people on Goatville. We started pretty early in the morning. We started at 8:30 and we got to the top in like just under 2 hours. And there were only 4 other people at the top, and they left like pretty soon after we got to the top, so we had the whole top to ourselves, and we sat and like hung out for like 30 minutes at the top and sipped our water and had a snack and just like enjoyed the views. And my second cousin, once removed, is mad fit and, you know, kept us on a really good pace the whole time. And then at the top, like, she's such an expert on all of the hills that are nearby and on all of the other islands that surround Arran. So since it was so clear, we could clearly see like the mainland from the top of Goatville, and we could see like Elsa Gregg and the Holy Isle, and like just everything was so clear. And so she was pointing all of them out to me and like telling me the names of all the other like peaks of all the other surrounding hills, and so I learned a lot. And oh, it was just incredible. And there were like no midgies at the top, and there were no midgies actually on the whole hike. There were some flies towards the bottom, but oh, it was just beautiful. Could not ask for better conditions. So I took a bunch of pictures, not very much video footage, but it is what it is. I did remember to Strava it this time. Okay, my Strava is telling me that it was just over 13 kilometers with an elevation gain of 891 meters. That feels accurate. I think that Goatville is a pretty popular hike to do here because it's like the tallest one on Arran. And definitely a lot of tourists do it. The trail is extremely well marked, like you cannot get lost on it. But I think that it would be wise to, like, obviously still come prepared. Like, you need good footwear, because it's quite rocky, and especially towards the top, you're basically just stepping up like massive stone boulder steps to the top, and like honestly, getting to the top felt like walking up a huge stairmaster for like 30 minutes straight. If you come to the Isle of Arran and like you're not a hiker, can you still do Goatville? Yeah, you can, but know that you need to have strong ankles and strong knees to accommodate for like all of the stepping and the balancing on rocks that you will be doing. But yeah, Goatville, 10 out of 10 for me. Incredible day to do it. It was just incredible and remarkable and amazing. After Goatville, my other second cousin, once removed, who I'm staying with, drove me around to the south end of the island. So now I've seen the north end and I've seen the south end, and we drove through Whiting Bay and Kildonan Beach. Oh my god. Kildonan Beach is one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen in my life. I didn't record anything there, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. But it was just like crystal blue waters, white sand beach. Oh my god, it was stunning. And it was such a hot, sunny day. Like, of course, there were people out swimming in the sea and enjoying and playing in the sand, and like, oh, it was just magnificent. We also walked along Lamlash Bay. I'm staying in Lamlash, and you get a really good view of the Holy Isle. The Holy Isle is this, island that's directly across from Arran. Buddhist monks like live there, and you can also like go across and do like different retreats and things like that there. Yeah, we walked along Lamlash Bay, and I picked up this
notification when they're coming on close that they're milking it, so I've caught like 3 times a day, but I can't. It's not actually in Scotland yet, which is bizarre, because we're like the midgie capital of the world, but it's in kind of Norfolk and maybe slightly further north England. Let's see if it'll stay there for a little minute.
Is it?
Yeah, this is her. Wide berth chicken milk.
Sorry.
Should give him a shot.
Oh.
It's a bit like that, unfortunately. So we've got the grey calf is the black cow's calf there. He's called Douglas. And so she's had a calf 5 years in a row.
I am heading back through the croft after my Highland cow tour. That was amazing. I petted them, I brushed them, and I'm walking through the field where they're just cooling off in the shade. And there's a bunch more over there. Don't know if you can see, but whoa. Oh, best day ever. Hello. Oh my god. I am all done with my heriku adventure. I've combed a coo. I'm so happy. That was so cute. I didn't film that much using this camera because I was just obsessed with being with the cows and just watching them. I took a bunch of pictures though, and I recorded a little bit on my phone, so that was awesome. I'm currently walking through a pathway to get to Glen Rosa, which is a beautiful valley you can walk through, and you can see views of Goatfell, which I hiked yesterday. I think it's just going to be amazing. It's a very hot day again, blue skies. I'm wearing a long-sleeved shirt to protect my sunburn, but I'm probably gonna switch it out for a different top in a minute and reapply some sunscreen. Just walking down this path right now and hoping it'll get me to Glen Rosa. But it is just absolutely beautiful. I have recently learned about one predatorial animal that lives on the Isle of Arran, and it's a snake. It's called an adder snake. They're not like exclusively found here, but they do have a venomous bite. So here's hoping I don't see those today. I think if I stick to the path I should be fine. Well, what I really want to get to are the blue pools, because it's so hot out. It would feel so refreshing to go for a dip. Wow. Now I'm in Glen Rosa. I wonder if that is Goatfell. At the peak there. Is that Goatfell? If all else fails, I can come back to this little creek and go for a dip. I just passed a few people, and one of the people I passed was soaking wet. So I'm guessing he probably went for a dip in here, unless the fairy pools aren't that far off. My GPS is telling me it's like a 30-minute walk, so I can do that. Oh, this is just so pretty. Are you joking? Okay, as I'm walking through Glen Rosa, let me tell you some fun facts I learned about cows. Highland cows typically live up to like 25 years of age, and the ones that we were grooming and petting were all kinds of ages. The youngest were 2.5 years old. There were younger ones, but we didn't groom those babies. And then the oldest one we groomed was 10 years old, and his name was Guinness. A full-grown bull Highland cow could weigh anywhere from 700 to 750 kilograms. That's a big boy. A black Highland cow may have a baby, and that baby will not necessarily be black. Black Highland cow can have a baby and it'll be brown. Brown Highland cow can have a baby and it'll be black. I'm pretty sure the other way works too. That's interesting. Highland cow hair gets thinner in the summer, and actually it felt really thin when we were brushing and petting them. Maybe also because they were been brushed and petted so much that their hair was just like really nicely groomed, but it was really thin. But in the winter, they'll grow a thicker coat to keep themselves warm in the Scottish conditions. Those are my cow fun facts for you. I want to jump in there right now. My phone says it's only 22 degrees, but bro, it feels way hotter. That Scottish sun is so powerful. That looks like such a nice spot for a wee dip in the blue pools. Kind of tricky to get to, and I don't want to bushwhack because I don't want to surprise any adder snakes. So I'm gonna keep walking a little bit and see if there's another spot I can go for a dip, maybe in a slightly more private area. Okay, I've made it. Trying to find the best way. Ooh. Odd. That wasn't the most graceful, but I'm at the blue pools, so I need to swim immediately. I am in the blue pools in Glen Rosa. The water feels so refreshing. It's not freezing. The rocks are slippery. There's like algae on them. But yeah, this is just unreal. I hope you can see that. Don't bother coming here if you're thinking about it. Just skip it. Not a bad place. Not a bad place for a wee dip to cool off. Oh god, I gotta get back to my backpack. Over there. I don't know if you can really hear me because I'm not too far from this waterfall, but wow. Just wow. I'm pretty content to just dry off on this rock, enjoy the view. I haven't seen anyone pass by. I did have to bushwhack down a little bit to get here, but It was worth it. Potentially coming face to face with a adder snake was worth it for this. And I feel so much better now that I'm cool. I'm gonna drink some water and just enjoy this. So I was swimming just down there. This wouldn't have been a bad spot to go in either. Honestly, there's tons of different places you can find to have a wee dip. That was so nice. It's rocky on the bottom and it's slippery, but oh, that's just so nice. Just amazing. Glen Rosa. It's blown me away, the blue pool's blown me away, and it's really not that far of a walk. I think it took me like a little over a half hour from where you can park your car, so just incredible. Whew. Alrighty, I am out of the blue pools, I'm back on the path. When I was trekking up out of the water, I stepped on what I thought was solid ground, but my shoes just went and got sucked under, so both my shoes are soaking wet. And with it, my socks and my feet. How can you complain? I'm thinking that I'm just gonna walk up a little bit further. You can spend like all day in Glen Rosa. You can walk up onto like different ridges and stuff like that. I don't know exactly how far it goes, but I'm not gonna, walk to the end and back or anything like that. I think I'll just venture up here a bit more, take a look at some of these other little waterfalls they have, and then I'll probably head back. Alrighty, I am beginning my walk back, leaving Glen Rosa. I couldn't have asked for a better day to come here. Just in terms of weather, blue sky, sunny, warm, perfect temperature to go for a dip in the blue pools, the temperature of the water of the blue pools, and the fact that there's like no one here. Like, I've hardly seen anybody. I've passed a few people on the way in, a couple people walked by when I was exiting the pools, but like, I don't know, maybe people thought it would be too hot, because there really is no shade here. So that's something to consider. I mean, I can see some people far up ahead, but I am not complaining. What a gorgeous, gorgeous way to spend my afternoon. I applied more sunscreen, so hopefully my sunburn doesn't get worse, but bye, Glen Rosa. So I'm making my way back, but I'm just having a wee break on this bench while I admire the view, which is amazing. And I noticed over here there's some bikes. So looks like you could, rent a bike on Arran and then bike here and bike a little ways through Glen Rosa, but some of the paths, as you can see, it's pretty rocky. And some of the paths get, really narrow and really rocky, so depending on what kind of bike you've rented, it might not be the best place to try and bike through here. Plus, like, everyone's on foot, it's definitely more of an on-foot place. were telling me that there was a fire in Glen Rosa not that long ago, earlier this year. I'm not sure where it was exactly. Looks like there might be a couple burnt trees over that way. I don't think the camera will be able to pick it up, but then they were telling me that a bunch of people, when, you know, things like that happen, when there's a fire, when there's a storm, the people of the island come together as a community and they help. So, you know, there's a bunch of people on the air and fire and rescue team, and it's a volunteered thing. So those people were called and they all, you know, helped to do what they could to put the fires out. And I think even those that weren't on the air and fire and rescue team were coming out to kind of do their part to try and get the fires out as fast as possible. And I think that that's just so remarkable. The people here are just so extremely kind. Like on the hike yesterday and even today walking through Glen Rosa, you pass people and they're always saying hi and, you know, commenting on the weather or whatever it is. Like, it just feels like it's a real community here. Everybody is so nice. Great place to be. As I'm walking back, I thought that I might use this opportunity to talk a little bit about solo traveling. Because prior to this, I've never solo traveled before. And so this is a message to you. If you are someone who is considering traveling solo, if there's a place that you really want to go and you can't find somebody else to go with you, and it's within your means and it's feasible for you to go by yourself, oh my god, go by yourself. As long as it's, you know, like I said, realistic for you, and if you feel confident that you can get yourself around by yourself, do it. Even if you don't feel confident that you can get around by yourself, still do it, because your confidence will grow, and people solo travel all the time. So as long as you're doing your research, you know about, you know, safe places to stay and visit and what to do if you get lost and getting a phone plan and all that, like, just do it. I have had such a fantastic time alone here in Scotland, and I think it's definitely made me a more confident person, and I've been really enjoying spending time with myself. I think I'm pretty cool. And you know, when you're by yourself, you're on your own time. You can do exactly what you want, when you want. You can spend however long you want doing something. It's just a completely different way of travel, so do it. Prior to my trip, I became obsessed with Scotland, so I did a lot of research on how to get around and what places I wanted to go to. Like, that's why I've been to all these landmarks, and I've hiked Goatfell, and I went to Glen Rosa today. It's because I researched it and became obsessed with the idea of coming to these places. So do your research, fall into a rabbit hole so deep that the only way to dig yourself out is to physically be in those places. You will not regret it. You'll have stories to tell. Things won't always go your way, but that's what happens. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. And vlog it. I can't wait to watch these clips back whenever I get around to it and have this, like, memento to hold on to for my trip. That's what I have to say on that. And now I shall continue my trek.
Hey vlog, I'm closing out my Isle of Arran vlog here. I'm so sad. I've really enjoyed spending some time here on the Isle of Arran. I honestly couldn't have asked for better weather, better activities, better company. Like, everything has just been so amazing, and I really owe a lot of that to my relatives, who I am so grateful for. I'm just so grateful that, you know, she welcomed me and, you know, offered to not only host me, but drive me all around the island, and, you know, teach me things. It's just been so amazing, and they've made me feel like family and made me feel at home, and this has just been so incredible. works unless you're in like a residential area. So envisioning me like, you know, forget renting a car. Like honestly, that would be the way to do it if you are coming to the Isle of Arran. Rent a car and bring it on the ferry and do that. Just be extremely careful, obviously, because like the roads are narrow and the corners are sharp and blah blah blah, whatever. That would have been too much for me to attempt for my first solo trip. Imagining my plan before, which was to like catch the bus, that wouldn't have worked. There's like 2 buses on the island and they don't run very frequently. They typically run in conjunction with the ferries, so they'll be at the ferry terminal and drive people to different villages around the island. So that wouldn't have really worked. I could have rented a bike, and then I would just be biking on the road, and that would have been probably the best way to get around, and the fastest, other than being in a car. But God, would I have been exhausted. All of that is to say that I am just so grateful for my family's generosity and willingness to like take me in and like so generously offer to drive me around and show me the best shops and teach me about the history of Arran, and it's just been so incredible. I feel so loved. I feel so loved. I feel well fed. I feel tan. I'm really, really sad to be leaving. I really am, but I will be back. I will be back. I know that for sure. One chapter ends, but then another one starts, because my journey in Scotland is not yet over. Because tomorrow I continue to my next destination. Can you guess where I'm going? I'll give you a hint. I am going to the Highlands. I'm headed north for a short period of time. The journey continues, the adventure continues, and I'm taking you along for the ride. You got no choice. Well, you maybe have some choice. You can not watch the video. I don't think that anyone is gonna watch these other than like me. Hi, Future Dash. Watching the Scotland vlogs again. Okay, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. Love you. Bye.
I'm on the ferry, leaving the Isle of Arran, headed back to Troon. I'm sad. I'm gonna miss my cousin.